As we are all fully aware, farming can play a vital role in climate change. And to do this, we have to look at how we treat our soils. I believe these methods go back to traditional methods. And this, in turn, is an extensive system, low-input system, which favours the new entrant. And it's a great opportunity for us to climb the ladder. Therefore, I see nothing but huge opportunities for first entrants to climb the ladder. This is very important for our industry because these people are normally the entrepreneurs, the people willing to take risks, and the people to become great leaders of our food production. On my travels, I came across numerous numbers of first-generation farmers that were thriving in some difficult circumstances, which made my journey look quite easy. This is living the farming... Oh, I just dropped something. Living the farming ladder is going to be biased today towards the first-generation farmer because this is me, and I want to help others, but hopefully some second, third, and fourth-generation farmers can take something from it. It soon became apparent to me that when I was growing up, I was always jealous of the farmers' sons and daughters that had a business they could go to and set up and carry on. But then I realised that I had a great opportunity because I could be like any other business. I could move and I could make decisions without that emotional attachment that we seem to carry with us as an industry. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Nuffield and the Trahane Trust for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to thank all the team members on the various farms for coping when I've been away and allowing me to go away for at least 9 weeks travel. And I'd also like to thank my family and my wife, who couldn't be here today because she's looking after my sick daughter. So, my journey. This is where I travelled. I wasn't really fixed when I started my Nuffield of where I wanted to go. I didn't actually go to the whole of the countries, but I just coloured them in. On getting my scholarship, I realised that someone had done the farming ladder back in 2011, so I thought this was a great place for me to start. Michael was up in Scotland. And looking back on those first Nuffield to Nuffield scholar discussions, I found the first generation farmer has to operate in the top 5 to 10% to gain any traction. Like Michael, these people are passionate, positive, dynamic, and full of pride. We also discussed why we farm. People have asked me on my journey, and I've asked others as I've been around, with so many different answers, and it all comes down to your own values, your views, and what you want out of life. It doesn't need to be justified, and we're all different as people. I looked at land ownership with Michael, and we both agreed it is achievable, and I can conclude it is achievable as a first-generation farmer, but it comes at a cost, and it's an own personal choice. So I've likened the farming ladder to a lifespan bell graph, as this is like any other true business. And I think if we look at this metric, it's easier to try and get a blueprint for others to follow. But on doing this, as Kendra has just alluded to, warts and all, I free-handed it before I realised you could get one off the internet. But as a first-generation farmer, I have a can-do attitude, and I don't like waste. I looked at this and thought, well, actually, the curve isn't smooth, and it is rocky, and there is emotion, there's setbacks, there's failures, and I didn't want to hide that. I will go back, because it hasn't taken me 2 years to draw that. But in that turbulence of business, if you can get through that, all those setbacks and the weather, and you can dust yourself off, or dry yourself off at the moment, exponential growth will happen, and it does happen. So I'm going to share 5 key facts that I think highlight how you can join the journey. I too was lucky to go on the Zimbabwe tour with 18 international scholars, and I can report the power of Nuffield internationally. We looked at crocodile farms, blueberry farms, chili farms, banana farms, and a milk processing farm and a dairy. And given the turbulence that Zimbabwe has been through, everyone we met had a smile on their face, and they're all resilient people, from the guy that had to collect the crocodile eggs to the guy that has to produce the milk. But my keynote from Zimbabwe was a mobile dairy called the Bush Dairy. This was run by an English guy in his 20s that was a second farmer's son. And when you look at location, we look at the neighbour's farm and we think, maybe one day he'll give up. But he's also looking at you, thinking whether you can give up. So location is moving, and he took it to the extreme because he took himself to Zimbabwe, where inflation's at 200%, interest rates are at 200%, and he could lose it all. But he is now with a Dutch farmer who's milking 600 cows on a traditional system, and he's gaining that business ladder. I guess if Nuffield was going to give me a light bulb moment, this was it. In Bendigo, Australia, I met Tessa. Tessa, in my view, has completed farming with only 8 cows. Tessa has cow-calf connected ticked. She's organic. She's local community, simple, made me look like my system wasn't even simple. But where Tessa really gained, and the key message here is the marketing. To buy Tessa's milk, you have to buy 3 months in advance. And in any business, cash is king, especially for the first generation farmer. I asked Tessa what her ambitions were, and she said to milk 9 cows. Her processing plant, it was all second-hand, and her and her partner built it out of a 40-foot shipping container. She was making yogurt in there as well. Mindset. Mindset is very important. Before you start, you must have a vision, a goal. These have to be written down, a why you want to farm. These can be changed as the journey grows, but you must have a clear plan to start with, because the journey can change. Also in Australia, I came across Michael and Exeter. Michael is a Nuffield scholar. They were in city, and they set up 10 years ago to milk sheep and make cheese. Since then, they have made award-winning cheeses, and they've got a wine and cheese shop that I'd recommend going to. But what I learned from Michael, which struck me, is to be sell-ready. In those early years of development, be prepared to sell, to flip the business, to cash in the asset, to move to a better place. Don't grow your business too big that you can't sell it. Sell the sheep to buy cows, sell cows to buy property. All these need to be looked at. Me personally, I'm mobile, so I can take all my stuff with me. The next one is people and relationships. These are 3 guys I met in Denver at a regenerative conference. I met the guy on the left in the lobby. We got talking, and I spent 4 days with him, networking, connecting, knowledge exchanging. This is so important to build the relationships with a bank manager, a landlord. It's almost like a marriage. It's a courting stage that has to be right for everyone. So I put it all into a diagram so you can take pictures. So I put mindset in the middle, because mindset is the most important thing to get right to start with. What's your why? You need to know. You'll notice I haven't mentioned access to capital or access to land. I believe with these 5 things, the capital and the land will come. I leave you with a passing comment that is, an old saying that there's nothing new in agriculture. Well, I beg to differ. There's something new every day, and that's the people we meet. Thank you.